problem is going on above you.
Sorry, Naheed, I just forgot to record it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so anything like any problem which is going on above your neck region, Nasya can be really helpful with that. And I also suggest to some of my patients to especially massage over your jaw lines, especially on this part, if you can see here, right? So these are the small tips like which you can do on a daily basis and can improve your tinnitus, right?
Shirodara is very good. The treatment Shirodara is very helpful.
Okay. Yeah, so Shirodara, you might know it is where they pour warm oil on the forehead, and it's very good for anything above the head, and it's really, really relaxing treatment. Most people probably fall asleep when they're doing it, but it's a really, really nice treatment. But anyway, I think there's more details about it on the website, and so that's a very good treatment. Another thing I found over the years was good for tinnitus is meditation. Because like as Dr. Naheed said, it's a Vata problem, and Vata is just busyness. It's just too much going on. And I think people are on computers and they're on screens and they're TVs, and there's just so much going on, and it just builds up this thing, and then it shows up in various different ways, whether it's migraine or tinnitus or various different things. And meditation is a great way of helping to still your mind and give yourself some peace. My own personal favorite is transcendental meditation, but I've no objection to any other form of meditation. But if you can do some form of meditation for 20 minutes twice a day, or even if you can just get once a day, a nice technique to do that you enjoy and that brings you some peace and quietness, it's good for everything, not just tinnitus. It's just good for everything, you know.
So there are two questions there about vaccines. The iPad, I don't know who you are, but you're asking about AstraZeneca. Having had the 2 AstraZeneca vaccines, you've heard it's not good to do deep massage. Well, I'd just say that if you've had a vaccine, I wouldn't be massaging deeply until, you know, the muscles in the area have had a chance to acclimatize. But I can't see once a couple of, maybe 2 days, 3 days has passed, why a deep massage would not be advisable. So I don't know what the reasoning was behind that. The other question was any Novavax update. So that's the second time one came in directly to me, a query. So the story with Novavax is that it was a company that had never produced vaccines, but when Joe Biden became president, his team gave $1.6 billion to develop the company to develop this Novavax. And never having produced a vaccine before, they're slightly struggling because they have produced the vaccine, but they're having difficulties achieving the degree of purity that's necessary in every batch. You have to have at least 90% purity to pass the authorities. And at the moment, they're only at about 70%. So that's slowed up the Novavax. It's possible that it could go for approval in December and be with us. Well, be available thereafter, but we can only wait and see, Eileen.
What sort of vaccine is it, Don? Is it a traditional vaccine or an mRNA vaccine?
That's the thing. It was produced traditionally, and therefore it's not novel technology. Again, it is a new vaccine. Every new vaccine should really go through the testing, which is not going to happen. But it's probably because it's old technology, people would feel a little bit more confident taking it.
Okay. There's a question there. Bartholin cyst. I'm not too sure about that at all. Maybe Don, that might be one.
That's not for you. Yeah, sorry.
Will we let one of the ladies handle it?
Go ahead.
Well, a Bartholin cyst is a cyst in the vagina that ladies get, and it's a blooming great nuisance because if it gets affected, on the vulva, if it gets infected, it's awful. I would suggest to keep pitta balanced because pitta will be inflammation, infection. So any measures that will reduce pitta would be a good idea. If it's purely a cyst, I'd be considering taking the MA 3697.
3697.
That's the one. Thanks.
3697 combined with Trifla 545 and just 1 month detox pit. I think that's
yeah, great. Good.
And then a local application of skin soother oil That's the nearest one I think we get.
3508.
Even they can even do a triphala decoction wash.
Oh,
Yeah, the
yeah.
hygiene is very important.
Yeah,
So.
hygiene is very important. So triphala decoction wash will also help to reduce the itchiness and the burning sensation out there.
Triple what? I actually think that it sounds, I didn't know what it was, so I've been educated here,
Well,
but I think it sounds serious enough for a consultation, to be honest, you know.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
there's,
It
Yeah.
gets better,
Needs,
but a lot to change your diet lifestyle. Yeah.
so all the doctors are familiar with it, and they have there's lots of Ayurvedic recommendations, but I think it probably does warrant a consultation. Chertelli, your sound is not great. I don't know if you have a,
it isn't great. Okay.
yeah, when you're speaking, you're a little faint, you know, but
Dr. Chitrali, having mentioned the triple wash, you better sort of explain what actually it is and how they produce it, how they.
Okay, I'll just explain how you have to do. Like when you take 1 liter of water, boil it, and before boiling, you have to add 1 tablespoon of triphala powder into that. Boil it well for 15 minutes, and once it cools down, you have to strain it with a muslin cloth, a cotton cloth, and then there should not be a fine particle in the water. And that drained water, you have to use it for wash once it cools down to the normal temperature. So this is how you have to make that triphala decoction.
someone, a different area of the body altogether, but I noticed the question there, someone was recommended a triphala wash for their eyes.
Yeah, similar way the triphala decoction should be made. So it
Okay.
is, the proportion is for 1 liter, 1 tablespoon of triphala powder, and you have to boil it for 15 minutes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I go ahead with Dr. Ryan's question about the deep massage with the AstraZeneca vaccine?
Sure.
Yeah, do.
I think it's just to be a little precaution, take the caution for until you're settled, the vaccine is settled in the system, because your immune system will be struggling to cope with the vaccine, and there could be, because AstraZeneca is like clotting, and then if any of that, that's why you don't do the deep massage, you just let the vaccine settle in your system. But once it is all right, then I don't think there is any contraindication. You can go for a normal massage and Shirdar and stuff like that. So it's just your body is struggling for a couple of days or weeks for some people, as you have noticed people around. Some people are absolutely fine, no problem. And one of my patients had AstraZeneca, and it took her 3 months to fully settle. Her blood pressure used to be high, and with the herbs and everything, she was doing so well. And after AstraZeneca, it's just got very erratic, and yeah, it was very difficult to settle. So it could be a lot going on in your system after the vaccine. So once that is settled, I don't think there's anything wrong. It's just your immune system, because massage could be detoxing, cleansing your body. So you don't want too much stuff going on in your immune system while the vaccine is settling. So that's why you avoid any deep cleansing stuff around that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one question. 18-year-old son had COVID in July, and his taste has not fully returned. So some food that he used to like have a terrible taste now. Okay, so in this case, it is again your digestion, which is important, and which in Ayurveda we call it as Agni. So when the Agni becomes sluggish, or when the digestion becomes poor, so these are the things which happen. And after COVID recovery, that is very important, how you manage to improve your digestion. So in that case, we have MA154, which can be used, Digestion Plus, Digest Plus, and even low calorie diet will be recommended, like green moong dal and khichdi. So these all, and even those CCF water, so cumin, coriander, and fennel water, even if that is sipped every week, so it will help to improve the digestion.
What about the MP16 oil? You can also give nasal drops to him, and that will also help through the sinus area and all of the lubrication of the system. It might help to return the taste. And I'm sure he must be doing, you can advise him oil pulling, tongue scraping, all of those. So the taste buds get refined and might get the taste back.
It will be fine with time. I think the taste
Yeah.
just with oil pulling and tongue It's great.
Yeah, just simple things. Yeah. It's just one of the normal COVID things.
Yeah, and once the Agni settles down, as Dr. Chatrali says, it will be completely fine.
Yeah, give it a bit more time.
So I take a question regarding cramps at night in feet and legs. Usually the cramps in feet and legs is because if you have a vitamin D or calcium deficiency. And obviously you're getting cramps and kind of aches and pains. So that's something related to Vata, and legs is also a Vata dominant organ as well. So what do you guys suggest? Like massage your feet as often as possible for you, and also take some natural calcium supplements like sesame seeds, which is a very rich source of calcium. You can have it with your, you can sprinkle it, just slightly toast cake and sprinkle on your vegetables or any of the curry you make. And also that we have a calcio care, which has a natural source of calcium, which is red coral. You can have it for like 4 weeks, 2 tablets, maybe after breakfast for 4 weeks. And then get your vitamin D check if it is possible. And if you are like lacking some of the vitamin deficiency, then you can have a supplement. We do have a supplement of Cytoplan in our website. So you can have all of these things, and I think you'll be fine after having all these supplements.
Yeah, I think vitamin D, it's a good idea to have your vitamin D checked anyway. I think people in Ireland, well, I mean, if you live an outdoor type life, certainly you can get it from the sun, all right, that's for sure. But unfortunately, we're going into the dark time of the year, so it's probably no harm to get your vitamin D checked anyway. So did someone see the question from Laurie? Did any of you see that?
I would recommend Laurie a consultation, yeah. But if anybody wants to answer, yeah.
Where is that?
Laurie says she had endoscopy, and as a result, they were found Candida fungal infection down along her gullet and into her stomach. And they want to give her a lot of drugs, which she doesn't want to take.
Yeah.
So she's wondering what to do about the fungal infection in her esophagus and in her gullet and in her stomach. And it immediately would strike me as a kapha type of situation with a lack of immunity, basically, allowing Candida to take root, because Candida is everywhere. Why it doesn't affect everybody is their own immune system controls it. So I would wonder about using kapha-reducing measures, kapha-reducing foods. It is an immune thing. It brings us back to Dr. Raj's suggestion that an overall consultation might be a better way forward.
Yeah, there are a couple of herbs, but yeah, we need to see exactly, as Dr. Brennan said, suspected kapha. But sometimes these type of Candida attack your immune system. That could be a lot going on the nervous system as well. So that's where we have a better understanding when we go into details and get the right herb and the right stuff for you. Yeah. So yeah, it could be. And we can deal it with the herbs and all of that. So normally they would recommend you maybe a lot of antibiotics and stuff like that. But Candida is something that take a lot of efforts to get rid of it, especially if it's in into your gut now. So
the difficulty, I suppose, with the antibiotics is once you take them, they affect the microbiome, which is your own gut flora, and gut flora is actually what in general helps your immune system. So you have a side effect, which is sort of making the immune system a bit more vulnerable. I suppose neem might be a herb that could be useful, but
yeah, neem and radishes. If you just take the white radishes from Asian store, Dunkin' radish they call them, or the normal one, and squeeze the juice out of them, and take a short empty stomach before your breakfast. That's just a tip I can give away. And Dr. Branning's suggestion, neem, very good. Yeah, that's a good antifungal herb. Very bitter, so mix it with some aloe vera juice, close your nose, put it down, and yeah.
Or maybe with some honey, it will help to heal the gastric lining.
If Candida is there, yeah, have to be careful with the sugar, any kind of sugar.
For kapha, maybe. If it's
Yeah.
kapha involved, then honey will be helpful. And it also helps to heal the lining.
Yeah,
of the
But
gastric
I think, you know, you have to be careful with the quality of the honey that's been
yeah.
there, that you
It
have
flare up. Yeah.
honey from Noel, because that's the best possible quality honey. Because they should be heated. That's the point with honey. And often it is heated by beekeepers.
Actually, there's a brilliant article that we did on honey. Like we went to a lot of trouble to find the honey that we sell. Actually, I went to Spain to visit the people who, you know, and see the bees and all that sort of stuff, and in Asturias in Spain. And we had been recommended this by another Ayurvedic person, and we just went over to look at it and the way it was processed and where the bees were kept out in the countryside and the way the honey was processed without heat and all that. So I've been getting that honey from that lady for, well, a lot of years now. But actually, I have a very interesting article. Honey is very revered in Ayurveda. I mean, the qualities of it and what it does, like it's considered very, very highly in Ayurveda. But equally as it's considered highly, if it's heated, it's also considered to be toxic. If anyone wants that article on the honey, just send me an email, noel@ayurveda.ie, and I'll send you a copy of it. It's a long article, but it's very, very interesting about honey. Someone there coughing up blood. Did anybody see that one?
Oh, Jesus, go to your doctor. Don't be asking us. Straight to your doctor if that's the situation.
Yeah.
No, she has her bronchitis.
Bronchitis.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she already has. Yeah. So she must be, yeah. So I think you need a bit soothing. So the licorice tea will be very helpful. So licorice marshmallow, if you can get both them in the root form, I think we have that on the website if you like. So just make a little tea, and licorice marshmallow and cardamom, and make a tea twice a day.
Cardamom is impossible to get at the moment.
You can get from the local Asian store. It's expensive.
I tried to get it from an Asian store and I couldn't. But anyway, because a lot of people are looking for it, and I can't get it from any of our normal stores.
You were looking for seeds, but the whole pot is available.
Oh, the whole pot is there, yeah.
Yeah, the seeds are expensive. Yeah.
Okay.
And even for that, actually, even ghee, consumption of ghee is also beneficial because it will soothe the throat. But it should be taken in a, you have to make it warm and take it. Even medicated licorice, like what Dr. Rajvinder recommended. So licorice ghee will help to soothe the tract.
Yeah, your sound is still pretty bad, Dr. Chichali, for some.
Oh, it isn't that clear?
You're sitting too far. Just
okay.
That's bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, sorry. Yeah,
And
sorry.
avoid any spicy food in your diet. Avoid any strong spicy food if you're eating. Just eat khichuris or soothing food, really. So yeah, it will settle.
So I take a question about inflammation of gum. So the best solution is to oil pulling. If you keep doing oil pulling, your inflammation will gradually reduce. And if you can arrange clove oil, so you warm some water like to a tolerable kind of temperature where you can keep that much temperature in your mouth. Just drop a drop of clove oil in that water, fill your mouth with water, hold it like that without swishing, and keep repeating till you finish the entire 1 glass of warm water with clove oil, just a drop of clove oil, and it will reduce. It will reduce in 2 or 3 days. So recently I was having a wisdom tooth and there was huge inflammation, and I did this same thing just for 2 days and I was sorted. So you can try as well.
Rose St. Clair asks about the seeds. I was talking about the sunflower, sesame, pumpkin, and flax seeds. And would toasting the seeds be the same benefits? Possibly you might lose some of the delicate oils in the toasting, but in general, if you're going to have seeds, you either grind them like that or you toast them to make them more digestible and to get more out of them. And is eating the seed whole any benefit? Well, for the flax seeds particularly, you can eat all the flax seeds you like and they'll just pass through you and grow wonderful flax plants, which means you didn't get much out of them. So the purpose of the husk is to prevent them actually being digested so that the animal eats the seed, and then the seed is deposited with a wonderful piece of manure to help the growth of its next plant. So that's the reason for the grinding and the roasting to make it more digestible. George is asking about COVID vaccine from an Ayurveda point of view. George, The thing about Ayurveda is that there were traditions that even have fallen into some the lot of loss, but the ways of raising children would have been at distinctive points in time. They would have had particular treatments and herbs, which would have caused them to grow up with a very strong immunity. And then the immunity itself would take care of any virus or bacteria that came along. But because certainly in the West, we don't have these strategies, we're more vulnerable to these infections. So the vaccine originated out of India originally because there was a tradition of using cowpox in order to, as a sort of on the surface and pricking the skin through a drop of the cowpox from the cow, and that would prevent smallpox. And that actually was what originated the idea that became vaccination. So it actually originated out of Ayurveda in a sense. But the difficulty, I suppose, is that we're getting more and more and more of these injections, vaccines. They're the drug company's most wonderful, profitable at 98 billion out of it, and they're rubbing their hands thinking when it's ratified for children, there'll be another 28 billion coming their way. The COVID vaccine, you have to make up your own mind about it. You're at risk if you don't take vaccine, and you're at risk if you do, because nobody knows in the long term, in 2-3 years down the road, what is going to be the outcome of these vaccines. We have no experience with them. And the media have had to take a one-pointed view because it was thought the best strategy was just to get everybody vaccinated. So you didn't get both sides of the story, and you were told they were perfectly safe. And, you know, under the circumstances, it could be argued that was very reasonable. But on the other hand, we just live in hope that these vaccines are safe. So we risk either way, which means every one of us have to think for ourselves and make our own choice. The problems we might have not taking the vaccine if we got the COVID, and the disruption to our life not taking the vaccine, versus the risk that could also be there when we take the COVID vaccine. So that's the difficult situation all of us find ourselves in, and nobody can make that decision for you because there's not the scientific evidence that can actually totally reassure us that everything is great with the vaccine. You know what I mean? So it's your choice.
Yeah, but people can do their research as well. I mean, Dr. Brennan is pointing out, I don't think you'll hear the full story from the mainstream media. It just seems to be all one-sided. And certainly there are lots and lots of very qualified physicians and scientists that have, you know, cast doubt on vaccinating children for a disease that's very, very, very unlikely to affect them, you know, and whatever about it, it's about a risk factor. For me, it's always the risk factor. There, you know, does the benefits outweigh the risks? But, you know, it's a very difficult subject even to talk about. We're in a situation in Ireland now where we basically have the medicalization of society, and people who are choosing not to get a vaccine are being excluded from society, even though people who are vaccinated can obviously catch the virus and pass the virus on. But there's an image being built up in people's minds that the only people that can pass the virus on are non-vaccinated people, which is unfair and untrue. But anyway, that's just what we're dealing with at the moment. But it's, as I say, it's a difficult topic. And any medical doctor that, you know, any registered medical doctor that chooses to take that on, well, you know, God love him really in a way, because he's got a big challenge ahead of him, you know. Okay, anyway.
The reality is it's a hugely, hugely emotive issue now. I mean, it's hugely emotive. You can't actually have a discussion about it, because if someone has taken the vaccine, they're totally invested in the safety of the vaccine and in the belief it was the right thing to do, naturally, and that those who are not taking the vaccines are therefore in some way morally corrupt, that they're not thinking of anybody else but themselves. People who haven't taken the vaccine, on the other hand, are more, you know, feeling the exact opposite, that they're right and everybody else is wrong, and that they're getting more entrenched because of the media coverage. And so it's a very unfortunately divisive issue. I think the best thing is for us to be very compassionate to each other and just to recognize it's an individual choice, let everybody make their choice. And if you take the vaccine or if you don't. I mean, the obvious thing is, and the amazing thing to me is that it's not publicized. Every day there should be notices on the radio that if you have a really good night's sleep, get your 8 hours, your immune system is increased by 40%. If you have really good nourishment, especially taking the vitamin D and the zinc, you really enhance your immune system. If you actually meditate, it's another evidence-based strategy for improving your immune system. And so it's really the commonsensical everyday strategies that should be hammered home, that people have ability to enhance their own immunity. And so whether you take a vaccine or you don't, you should be living very Ayurvedically, because you're only, in that sense, doing something that can prevent you getting sick, whatever. So I hope that's helpful.
Well, Don, it's great to hear a doctor saying those things. You know, I don't think we'll hear too many of them saying those things, but it's great to hear. It's great to hear you saying those things, you know. Okay, anyway, we'll move on from vaccines. Nasal spray stains my teeth. Presumably it comes down as a post-nasal drip. Jacinta, when you put that a nasal spray up your mouth and you inhale it back in, if it comes back into your throat, spit it out. That's part of the instruction and the use of it. You just spit it out, you know, and then wash your mouth out. It absolutely should not be staining your teeth. Absolutely should not be staining your teeth. So don't leave it in your mouth. It'll have to stay on the teeth in order to stain it. So when it comes down into the cavity, just spit it out, you know.
So I take a question about, I have noticed my eyesight is deteriorating, but would be the best natural treatment? Would ghee be better or the Triphala eye wash? Okay, so there are multiple things you can do for your eye. You can definitely do a Triphala eye wash to keep your eyes clean. And Triphala is a very good herbal combination for the eyes as well. Ghee, being the pitta organ, ghee is one of the excellent tonic for your eyes. So do massage your eyes with ghee. That also helps to increase circulations. And also you can introduce more of a vitamin A, vitamin C, and omega-3 rich food in your diet in the form of nuts, in the form of carrots, sweet potato, kale, and amla. So we have amla powder in our website as well, which is a very rich source of vitamin C. So you can have either amla or licorice as a supplement for your eyes. And you can also, like Dr. Chatrali, Dr. Rajvinder, and me, we all do that therapy, Netra Tarpana, where, you know, a bridge kind of, like I'm wearing a specs, like this kind of a bridge is formed on your eyes, and then ghee is poured there. There is a whole lot of process for that. And that's a very nourishing kind of therapy, which nourishes your eye and improves your eyesight. And along with this dietary and lifestyle management, you can also do some of the eye exercises. Okay, so I think Noel must be having those recorded videos where Dr. Rajvinder showed how you can do your eye exercises. And I also have done a webinar on ear, nose, eyes, and skin. And you can, if you haven't watched that, you can look at that and get some more information how you can take care of your eye.
Yeah, actually, we're repeating that webinar. That webinar has been shown on, I'll talk about it towards the end of the talk. I think it's Tuesday, the 9th of November. We're re-showing that webinar. That was a fantastic webinar that Dr. Naheed did last year on ears, eyes, nose, and throat and skin care. And there's a lot in there about eyes as well. So we'll be you can buy it off the website. It's on the website, but we'll be repeating it anyway. And we've got quite a good few people booked in for that. Dr. Rajvinder did do some eye exercises on one of the classes, but that's not available on our YouTube channel. But I think if you go online, if you just Google it or go onto YouTube, you will see some of the Ayurvedic eye exercises.
You might record it, put on the.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. It's called Tarataka, which is you
with the candle. Yeah.
With the candle, or candle flame is wonderful, or one point on a wall or something, and you just continuously look at it until the tears start rolling, and then slowly close your eyes because it's going to hurt. And then with your finger you massage your eyes, and then just open it.
Maybe we can just do a short class on that, because someone put a question in earlier on about working on a computer all day long, and definitely this is damaging for your eyes over time. And you know, so exercises like this would be very good. So maybe we might do a little small half-hour class on that.
Yeah. Okay. And the other thing for that person sitting around computer because of the radiation, a good antioxidant will be very good. So what we have in our stock is Amrit Kalash. We talk about it a lot for immunity, but actually it's a broad spectrum antioxidant as well. So it helps your body to kind of with the radiation, so the effect doesn't go deeper. And try to get out of the fresh air and get off the computer every hour or so for 2 minutes, get out of the fresh air, so that your cell, your body tissues absorbing all that radiation, they get a little break. And then, of course, your eye health, keep yourself hydrated, and good food, good rest. So your immune system stays strong, because this technology can make your immune system very weak as well.
One of the technique is, go ahead, no.
No, go ahead, Dr. Hija.
And one of the technique is just rub your palm till you feel like it's warm and just place it over your eyes and you feel like relax.
Yeah, they're doing it.
Yeah, people are doing it.
It's a very relaxing exercise.
It's very relaxing.
Yeah. There are more eye exercises are brilliant for eye health.
Yeah.
I think Roberta was asking how to stop the cataract. So if you have regular eye exercises and all those things, you keep your eyes healthy. So beside your other part of the body, there's a whole routine for your eyes as well. You do the eye wash from time to time, and you do the exercises, and there are wonderful eye supplements as well that you can take. Dr. Naheed talked about amla powder. We also have in the tablet form amla berry MA1, that also good antioxidant for eyes because of natural vitamin C. And so, you can do a lot around the eyes as well.
And one thing you don't have to do is do not use a screen when your light is off.
Yeah. Or blue light screen. If you're using too much computer, you can buy those glasses where it block the light, or you can actually buy the screen, or on your phone it's free after 7 or something, it come off the light. So just little tricks.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, we will organize an eye thing, because I have problems with that. Well, I'm pitta anyway, and the eyes are a pitta organ as well. So definitely, and I spend too long on the computer as well. So it would be great to do those eye exercises to.
So vitamin A, vitamin E are the eye health supplement, and they are rich in the ghee. So.
Yeah. And my mother had macular degeneration, so it's probably something that I may be looking at later on in life. So rather do something to avoid that happening, you know. So we'll set up some sort of a class, but Dr. Naheed covers a lot about the eyes in the webinar that's going to be on next week. Very interesting question here. I just want to comment on it. Maybe all the doctors can make a comment on it. How can I boost my kids' immunity? They are picking up infections now. They are mixing in school. My boy has a chesty cough. We can't get rid of it. We did a COVID test, which was negative. Actually, I heard a doctor being interviewed on the radio. I think it was RTE1 today. And he was just saying that surgeries are absolutely inundated with people in with viral infections, chesty coughs and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I believe one of the problems here is that like kids and everybody have been washing their hands because of COVID. We've been disinfecting our hands, but your immune system needs challenges. It needs to be challenged. That's how your immune system grows. You just imagine your immune system is like an army. And if you're an army that's fighting all the time, look how well trained you are and how capable you are of dealing with things. But if you're an army that's been in barracks for the last year and hasn't done a thing, and then suddenly some challenge comes along, you're going to be very hard pressed to deal with it. And, you know, I even read an article a while back that some childhood cancers were being caused by children being born in an over-sterile environment. So I'll just repeat that, okay? Some childhood cancers were being caused by children being born into an over-sterile environment. In other words, there wasn't challenges to their immunity. And, you know, mother's milk has pathogens in it to start kicking off the immunity. And there are other, during cesarean, the child, they can lack some of those challenges as well. So they have techniques for getting around that as well. So this is the problem. We've all been, you know, in some ways we had to do it because of COVID and we didn't want to pass COVID on, but that has its negative consequences as well, insofar as that people's immunity becomes very low because it hasn't been challenged. It needs these things to train. There's an obsession with bacteria and things nowadays, an absolute obsession with it. We're all cleaning our houses and using sprays and bleach. I can tell you the bleach and the chemicals in those things are far worse than any of the bacteria that you're going to get there in general. Okay, there may be some things, but you know, we shouldn't be afraid of bacteria. We need those things. We need those challenges. And in relation to boosting your child's immunity, there's lots of things in Ayurveda that you can do to do that. But maybe some of the other doctors have a comment on that as well.
You can even give Sitopaladi churna along with honey, mix it with honey and give it like 1 teaspoon in the morning and at night along with warm water. Again, even ginger juice along with honey will help. So these all things will help to boost up the immunity basically, and it will relieve the kapha content. So in childhood, it is more of kapha which is dominating in this age. So we need to be very careful with what we are eating as well. And one more thing is like Chavanprash. So
Yeah,
Chavanprash
yeah.
Along with warm water can be given every day in the morning, empty stomach.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, Chavanprash, because it's chesty and Chavanprash is good for the chest, and it's a rasayana to boost the immunity as well.
And it's lovely and sweet, and the kids will love it.
Yeah, and get them to play outdoors in the dirt.
Yeah.
Not in the cold weather.
What a cold out. What do you mean not in the cold weather? We were kicked out of the house at 8 o'clock in the morning when we were kids. We didn't come back until 6 o'clock in the
Your
evening.
time was different.
But warm or colder. Yeah, we're tough. We're tougher people.
Children are very sensitive nowadays. Anyway, the cold season defense could be the other tablet, easy for children. Children could be very fussy. So cold season defense is in tablet form, easy to take around this time of the year.
So I'm going to shoot through a few questions because they're piling up on us. One is about black tea. Black tea is, yes, it contains caffeine, not as much, not near as much as coffee does, but it does contain caffeine. Again, we'd be thinking about the dosha, and it is astringent, drying. It will, with the caffeine, tend to excite vata. And the concept of using it as a chai is a much more balanced situation because the milk will balance the drying effect, and the herbs there will help as well in terms of cardamom to protect against the caffeine. So it depends on your dosha. And then there's about mild gastritis. Again, we don't know you, so we don't know, because it could be just a weak digestion that needs a lot more ginger, or it could be some inflammation due to pitta, which needs less ginger and more cooling. But you could start with trying the ginger, make a mix of ginger, lemon, salt, honey, teaspoonful of the mix, chopped ginger, the lemon, salt, and honey before the meals, twice a day. See if that does it for you or not. If not, consultation. And Kerry, one of your questions, 3323, take like Chavanprash. Yeah, great, good idea. 1 teaspoonful twice a day on an empty stomach. Bed at 10, is it all right to get up at 8, or must it be 6? Different people have different sleep needs according to your dosha. If you're vata, your sleep will be more little and broken. If you're pitta, you need a moderate amount of sleep. Kaphas tend to need 9 hours. They tend to take it naturally. So it depends on your dosha. But if you're sleeping well, you're taking 10 hours. That's the max, you know. Certainly 9-ish, 9.5 hours, I'd say, is probably enough. But you have to get enough sleep that you're fresh during the day as well. So it's a self-referral thing.
Yeah, but 10 hours sounds like a lot, Don, you know, and I would say, as you said, coming into the autumn, into the Vata season, maybe you can do that, but come after Christmas, I think probably cut that down a little and start being a bit more active in the Kapha season.
And Stephanie Painter Chapman has her question about her vaccine. She's got to get the booster school as soon as she's working in the school. And I'm not sure that there's any problem, Stephanie, mixing them. They do suggest that you'd probably get more immunity if it's a different vaccine in the booster than the one you originally had. So I wouldn't be pushed one way or the other. So be relaxed about it. Whichever you're offered, go for. No need to pull your hair out.
Will I take the next question?
Please do.
Yeah. What food would you recommend for a breastfeeding mom? So shatavari is one of the best herbs to take in when you are breastfeeding. So it is a good woman tonic. So breastfeeding moms can even have like dry fruits. Usually in India, usually we have dry fruits which is mixed together with dry dates powder and gum into that. So it is a edible gum which is fried in the ghee, and you have to mix it along with all the nuts and make a paste out of it. Not a paste, but you can make balls out of it and have it along with warm milk every day.
Can you hold on there? Can you hold on? That sounds lovely. So let's start again now. You take some ghee, and what do you do? What do you put into the ghee now?
Yeah, so you have to warm the ghee, then put the edible gum into that.
What gum is that?
It is
Gur gum. Gur gum.
Gur gum.
Gur gum.
It's called edible gum.
Edible gum.
How much edible gum?
So the proportion is like if you are taking 250 grams of each nuts, then you can add like around 50 grams of those edible gum. You have to fry it well in the ghee properly and then take it out. Once it is fried and it cools down, you have to just make powder of it with your hand, or you can just make it in the mixie. And then you can add all the nuts like almonds, cashew nuts, pistachios, and even dried dates. I'm talking about dried dates, not the normal dates. So even if you are like, if you don't get those dried dates, you can use the normal dates which we get in the market, or the date syrup. So you can mix this all together and make a ball, like small balls. We call it as laddus. So make small balls of it, and that small ball can be taken every day in the morning or during your breakfast along with milk.
Dr. Brian, you made them. Dr. Nahid gave that recipe. Dr. Chitali added a few more ingredients. You made them. They were really nice.
And that's really useful in postpartum period as well, right?
Yep.
Well, listen, you know, I nearly want to go breastfeeding just so that I could have this, having this. So I've sort of got it in that you add 50 grams of gur gum or edible gum to how much ghee?
How much?
How much ghee?
Just roughly
ghee,
2
you can take
tablespoons.
roughly about two tablespoons.
You just want to fry them.
Right. And then you just fried the gum. And afterwards, when you fry the gum, you start adding in the nuts and the dates.
Yep, you can add the nuts into the ghee itself, roast it well, and then you have to make a powder of everything together.
Aha, right.
So that helps to bind it together.
Right. So you put it into the blender to
yeah.
Yeah, what you're doing already, Dr. Brennan, that you gave me, lovely laddu. It's just extra ingredient Dr. Chitali has added is gur gum, because gur gum is natural and rich in calcium. And so after delivery, traditionally in India, they make this laddu. Your mother or your mother-in-law will make it, and you eat it for 45 days. So.
You want to make it more herbal, you can even add like fenugreek seeds.
Fenugreek seeds are very good. And another thing for the person who's asking, shatavari is also very good for the milk production and all of that, and nourishing all the reproductive system.
Well, another simple tea is just to add fennel seeds and fenugreek seeds, about a teaspoonful of each, into a liter of water, boiled and drank in a flask, and drink through the day.
Traditional recipes: fennel, cumin, cinnamon, fenugreek, and black cardamom. And sometimes they do put a little bit of ajwain as well. So it's just to clear up the whole system. So again, when you're in the hospital, they give you cold water. So in India, they don't recommend you drinking cold water for 40 days at least. And you drink this water.
So it was again, they came very fast. There was fennel seeds.
Fennel, cumin. Cinnamon. Fenugreek. And a bit of ajwain and black cardamom.
Right. Honest to God. Well, after that now, if the lady has triplets, she'll have no problem.
To lose weight, it's very helpful to lose weight as well, because all the baby belly and everything, it's just, and you're nourished with all these laddus and everything.
And basically it pacifies vata. So,
and the massage, if you have the facility around you, get yourself and your baby massaged for 40 days at least.
They should employ ye in the Coombe, the maternity hospital.
Should go and give a lecture. Yeah, my friend had a baby and she was eating sandwiches there and they gave her, I think, cold water or something. Her husband was able to bring this water for her, so at least she was saved a bit. Yeah.
And Roberta Shields is asking how to treat cataract. So how to prevent and treat cataract. Well, the nasal drops are healing in terms of they remove toxins from the whole head area. So the MP16 or MS735, the 735 nasal drops.
Yeah, nasal drops, yeah.
That's one thing that would come to mind, but have any of the other Vija's suggestions?
I think cataract is once it is settled, it's difficult, but there's a whole branch of ENT and if the doctor is trained in the eye, there are certain therapies they can do. But it's basically you try to prevent it. So if it's in the first stage, initial stages, yeah, all those recommendations Dr. Ben is saying, your nasal drops, your eye wash, your eye bath with the ghee, eye exercises, good eye supplements, and mainly your diet as well is very important. So you try to do this to prevent it, progress it faster.
All the things Dr. Naheed talks about in the webinar, actually. Actually, I just want to share the screen because we're getting kind of close to the end here. I just want to share my screen for a minute because let's see, I just want to show, so I want to bring you to, this is our website, ayurveda.ie. Okay, this is our main website. I'm sure all of you are familiar with it, and you can sign up for our 7-lesson course there. All right, but I just want to bring you to the booking page here. I just want to show you a few things that are coming up in the near future. Okay, so I'll just do them in order of when they're actually happening. Okay, so on the 8th of November, which is Monday week, Dr. Rajvinder is doing a cookery course. It was kind of designed for the people who did the detox course with us, but actually it's for everybody. And if you just click on the book there, so she's going to show how to cook butter, bean and sweet potato basil curry, broccoli, almond, ghee soup, gluten-free bread, and flapjacks for healthy bones. So that's an autumn cookery course. That's going to be on the 8th of November. That's a live course. We're going to do it live on that Monday evening. So that's the 8th. On the 9th of November, which is a Tuesday night, we're going to do a replay of Dr. Naheed's course, Eye, Ear, Nose, Throat, which we did last April. So it's not live. It's just, there won't be an opportunity to ask live questions unless Dr. Naheed wants to come on later on, but it'll just be a repeat of the webinar that we did. And then on the 17th of November, we have a very interesting webinar. Again, this is a live webinar, and this is with Dr. Chitelli, and this is controlling sugar levels. So known causes of elevated sugar levels and how to keep them under control. And so looking at diabetes from a modern aspect, from an Ayurvedic aspect, and causes, symptom and prevention and home remedies that we can do. So there are 3 events that we have coming up. Now, just to add in another few things that we're doing. Next Tuesday is Ayurveda Day, and it's the worldwide Ayurveda Day. You're probably all familiar with Yoga Day that came out of India a while back. That's normally the 21st of June in the summer solstice, and that's quite famous around the world now. But there's also an Ayurveda Day. The President of India, Modi, has been trying to promote Ayurveda Day, and we're going to have a celebration for Ayurveda Day next Tuesday night at 7:30, and we're hoping, we haven't confirmed it yet, but we're hoping that there's a new Indian ambassador to Ireland. Don might have an update on this for us, but we're hoping that he's going to come on and say a few words as well on that evening, you know. And maybe I'll talk a little bit about what's been happening in Ayurveda in Ireland, because there's an awful lot been happening in Ayurveda in Ireland in the last year. And maybe Dr. Rajvinder might do a Dhanvantri puja, and We will, and if anybody, maybe we'll have a little celebration as well. So if there's any singers, if there's anybody on the meeting now that would like to recite a poem, I know Anna Carey normally recites a poem or something like that, but there's lots of people either recite a poem or sing a song or do something, then just drop me an email. If you'd like to do that, just drop me an email at noel@ayurveda.ie. And just to say that you'd like to participate. Normally we get tons and tons of singers and poets and every songwriters coming on. But so if you'd like to do that, just drop me a note, and I'll send an email out about this as well tomorrow, actually, because it's coming up pretty soon. It was just kind of organized today, you know. And then the other thing we will have is the 3 lectures by Dr. Brennan on love and wisdom and happiness. We just haven't set up dates for them yet. I will be setting up dates for them in the very near future. Now, the Ayurveda Day is a free thing, and I'll send the link out to everybody. The other things, there are various different prices there, but you just need to book them on the website. And if I just go back to the home page, just so Dr. Brennan, all of Dr. Brennan's consultations are booked online. You don't ring anybody to book Dr. Brennan's consultations. You just book them online. But you can see here on the homepage the contact details for all of the other Vaidhas. So Vaidya Nahid is in Cork, Rajvinder's in Lucan, and Vaidya Tritelli is in Dublin City. And the phone numbers are there and the emails are there. So you arrange consultations with these doctors individually yourselves. You contact them directly. Dr. Brennan, as it says, can be booked here. You just click there and Don's diary opens up and you can book them there, you know. Okay, so I'll stop the share. Yeah, so I just wanted to tell you that's quite a few things we have coming up. And as I say, we also have 3 lectures by Dr. Brennan that we'll be putting up there fairly soon as well. So yeah, okay, that's all I wanted to say. Maybe there might be some other questions there that before we leave, if you want to take 1 or 2 more, if there's anything.
Anna Carey suggested that we should do a webinar on nervous system, and I would really love to do that. But I would need any of the doctor, if Dr. Brennan or Dr. Rajvinder or Dr. Chatrali.
Yeah,
Dr.
sure.
Brennan.
I know Dr. Brennan is doing a webinar on wisdom, health, happiness, which I think.
Oh,
But
okay.
I do think the nervous system, Nahid, would be a brilliant one for you to do. You know,
Yeah.
But I would need, it would be like great, like if you can join, like, you know, from the Morgan perspective, you can just correlate the nervous system and
okay,
like we can talk about it.
let's do
No
that.
pressure.
No, it'd be lovely.
Well, we probably won't do it before Christmas because we have an awful lot on now, you know, and then once December comes in, I find people tend to get caught up with everything else, you know. So Anna says no rush. Thanks, Anna. And so no rush, just have it next week. Yeah.
Ross is saying, can I comment on that? Said the exposure to the UV light can cause cataract, and the doctor said wearing sunglasses. What Ayurveda say? Well, Ayurveda always recommends to protect your senses around the extreme weather conditions. So Ayurveda say you cover your ear and throat if it's windy, to increase vata. And then of course, as Dr. Brennan was saying, eyes, and Noel was saying, eyes are pitta organ. So of course you have to protect the pitta organs from the heat. So you wear glasses to protect. And traditionally in the old time, I don't know in Ireland what they used to do. They used to cover scarf around their head, like that was a traditional cotton thing that probably protect the head from the heat of the sun. And probably it also provides the shade for the eyes as well. So yes, Ayurveda does recommend kind of protecting your senses from extreme weather conditions. So yeah, nowadays we have sunglasses. Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have to wear them all the time either, you know. So
yeah, if you're a strong, sharp sun.
Yeah.
Extreme weather conditions.
You don't have to wear them in the morning time, or you know, it's better not to wear them all day long, but no harm in wearing them, you know. So that's fantastic, everybody. I started recording this a bit late, but I got most of it, I think. So we'll put this up on our YouTube channel. I'll send the link to everybody tomorrow. And if anybody wants the link about the honey, or if anyone has any questions about anything about tonight, just send me an email, noel@ayurveda.ie, and I'll see can I get the answers. But you, if it's something that was in this, then you'll be able to replay this and go back over it. And as I say, the next thing we have on is the Ayurveda Day, which it's next Tuesday, Don, isn't it?
It's next Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah. And I think you're meeting with the ambassador during the day, and then we're hoping he'll come on and say a few words on Tuesday night. Oh no, you're meeting the ambassador tomorrow, yeah, and hopefully he'll come on on Tuesday night if he can and say a few words to us, you know.
Wonderful.
Okay, and as I say, if we've any singers or poets or anybody out there that would like to contribute on Ayurveda, is it actually, so excuse my ignorance, is it Danvantri Day next Tuesday as well?
It is, yeah.
It is.
Danvantri Day on Tuesday. It's Lakshmi Day on Thursday.
Okay, okay. So Danvantri is the founder of Ayurveda, and so
No,
that's what-
everybody dress up Indian, okay? White jazz and team anyway. No pressure for people. If you have anything Indian, do that, please.
Oh, we'll see all the saris now. Oh, wow.
okay.
Love that.
I'll have to borrow a sari off one evening.
But you have a
No,
kurta,
you
no?
have a lovely kurta.
Yeah, you have a kurta.
I do have a kurta that Manmeet gave me. Regina's husband
Yeah,
gave
so
me, actually.
I have to go to your new one.
I think I wore it at the last Danvantri Day.
Last than one day, yeah.
But maybe I'll dig it out.
Dr. Brennan, do you have a kurta?
I'm sure he has.
I think I have something anyway.
Dr. Brennan has some.
You can tell me
some of
about the kurta.
Yeah,
Traditional. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
you have traditional.
Acha. Acha.
Acha.
So
Great.
anyway, we'll have a fun night next Tuesday night. It won't be a knowledge night. It'll be an entertainment night, and everybody
We will be quiet, and you all will be talking.
you'll all be doing the singing and reciting the poets and everything that are reciting poems. So everyone that's on this will have a link. Yeah, unless someone sent you the link today and you didn't get it directly, and if that's the case, go and register on our website ayurveda.ie. Go and register for our mailing list, and then you'll get it. You know.
I'm just thinking about all these ladies we have now with us, and them all, spending the next hour or two practicing their sari, putting on their try and get it right. Stay on.
We don't wear that kind of sari. And
They're very difficult things, I hear, to get them right.
Well,
somebody said, sorry, Dr. Naid, go ahead.
No, I was just telling that we just need any excuse to just get ready, to dress up well. So we'll be all happy.
You probably have a lot of new dresses now coming from India.
No, I haven't.
You didn't know it.
Unfortunately, I haven't.
And somebody said, when you say it's a man's world,
Yeah, the Brian said that.
you need men. You need men to run.
Yeah. Okay, that's fantastic, everybody. So thanks a million for coming on. Thanks for the doctors, and I hope you sign up for some of the webinars that we're doing and the different things, and organize your consultations and all that. And thanks for the doctors for the great knowledge that they've given out. So it's okay. It's getting
Sorry, so before somebody send me privately about the yoga. Yeah, I will do yoga class. A few people are asking after the last night that I should do online yoga class. So we'll put up one yoga class, Roberta.
Okay, so we look at doing an online yoga class.
Yeah.
Okay, namaskar, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Good
you very
night.
much. Thanks everybody for
Good
coming
night.
on,
Thank you.
and
Thank you. Bye.
we will see you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.